Well, hi, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you today with a video, a book haul, a big book haul. I have decided that I'm going to get all these books taken care of so I can take stacks of books off the floor, off of my reading table, and I can put them up on the shelves and kind of organize things. I'm starting to get tired of looking at things on the floor, and I know my wife is getting tired of looking at things on the floor. She brings the Swiffer thing in here and kind of wipes around and gets tired of going around all the stacks of books, piles of books. So anyway, I just wanted to come and do another summer book haul. I am just about done. If you haven't been able to tell over the last month, 2 months with my videos, I did really, really well this summer with my book hauls. I found some, what I feel are some pretty good books. I think I've done really well. And it's just been, I bought a little bit here and a little bit there, probably more than I needed. I admit to that. My wife is telling me I need to stop buying because I'm out of shelf room already. This big old house we bought, and we bought new shelves and stuff, and I've already filled everything up. And I'm hoping, I'm crossing my fingers that maybe I can get another shelf up in the upstairs. And I don't know if I can talk her into it, but I'm hoping so that I can get things kind of put together. But anyway, long story short, I want to come to you and show you this big old stack of books. I do have one more stack that I got to look at because I can't remember if I've shown you those or not. So there might be one more of these videos, but this one's going to be a big one. I'm not going to read every one of the covers. We'll be here for an hour, and we don't want that. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with a book on World War I. And and let me also preface this with, I can't remember where I found all of these. It's at various bookstores. I've been shopping at Books Revisited, Thrift World, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, our local community center, the Friends of the Library book sale. So it's been like here, there, and everywhere, and maybe even a couple other stores where I just see stuff and I pick it up because it doesn't cost a lot and it looks interesting. So anyway, the first book that I got for you in this stack is a World War I book. I've been building up my World War I library a little bit more ever since we had World War November last year, and really enjoyed that reading event. I've always enjoyed reading about or learning about World War I, but I hadn't done a ton of heavy reading on it. Because you guys that follow the channel know I'm a Civil War guy. I've got tons of books on the Civil War. I got tons of books on the American Revolution, but I didn't have all that many on World War I, even though I really enjoy learning about it. And so I've been trying to fix that problem. And one of the deals that one of the things I've been trying to do for those holes in my library, so to speak, not that there's really any holes. My wife will tell you there's no holes in the shelves. It's packed, but holes in what I feel, the holes I feel I have are individual books on battles of World War I, so that I can get a better feel for that. But anyway, so that's what leads into this first choice that I had found, and it's by Holger H. Herwig. And it's The Marne, 1914, the opening of World War I and the battle that changed the world. So there we are. It's got a great, photo there on the front there showing your soldiers marching through. And of course, the Battle of the Marne, a horrific battle with lots of bloodshed. This is from Random House out of New York, and it's a 2009 book. The book's in fairly good shape. The pages have started the yellowing process, but overall the book is the book is in good shape. The cover is a little bit, you could tell that it's been in some stacks, but overall in good shape. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to read the cover to you. The book's about the Battle of the Marne. There you go. We'll keep this simple. So I was excited to see that. And then another one I was real excited about was this biography on Henry Clay. Of course, you guys out there that have watched the channel, you know I absolutely love Abraham Lincoln. That's my number one guy, go-to guy I want to learn about. And Abraham Lincoln's idol in politics was always Henry Clay. And so I was real excited when I found this biography on Henry Clay, and it's got some weight to it. It doesn't look real thick, but it's heavy. It is heavy. And it says it's Henry Clay, The Essential American by David S. Heidler and Gene T. Heidler. I'm guessing that's a husband-wife combo. But, you got this, and then you got that wonderful picture of him in the Senate giving his speech during the Compromise of 1850, trying to get people on board with that. And I believe that actual painting is that one the one that's in the Capitol building? Maybe it's in DC somewhere. But this is like I said, a biography on Henry Clay. It's from Random House out of New York. It's a 2010 biography, but I am happy to have that. I know I don't have in my collection. I know I have one biography called The Triumvirate that talks about him and Daniel Webster and who's the other one? Oh, John C. Calhoun. Sorry, going blank. I have a triple biography, so to speak, but I can't remember exactly. I might have one or two biographies on Henry Clay, but nothing that's like modern, because I would consider this one more of a modern one. But this book was in great shape. Pages are still white. The spine of the book is in great shape, so happy to find that one. This next one is a book that I found I found this one at the Jesse James Antique Mall. And this book has stared at me like the last 10 times that I've went to the Jesse James Antique Mall. And for whatever reason, I left it sitting on the shelf, and I kept passing on it. And then finally, one of those times over the summer, towards the end of summer, I was like, you know what? I'm getting that book, because it's like it never leaves my head. I leave the place, and then a week later, I'm like, why didn't I just buy that? And then I'll go the next time, and the same thing happens all over again. I leave it on the shelf, and then I scratch my head thinking, why didn't I just buy that? But anyway, this is The Spirit of 76, the story of the American Revolution as told by the participants. And it is a chunky monkey of a book. It's edited by Henry Steele Commager and Richard B. Morris. This is actually a pretty famous book. This book gets sourced a lot in the histories that I read. I always see this in the bibliography at the back. So I was tickled to death to find it. And it was, do I have the price tag? I don't think I have the price tag on it. It was not very much. You're talking maybe a $5 or $6 book. And the thing is, it runs over 1,300 pages. And so you can't beat that. A $5, $6 book for 1,300 pages. Come on. All right, so this next one is D. Brown's History of the American West. Very happy to have that. It's exactly what it says. I'm not going to read anything on it, but D. Brown is the one that wrote, Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. Pretty famous work. And so I was real happy to pick this one up. It's a touchstone book from Simon & Schuster, and it's a 1994, this is a 1995 edition, originally 1994. So happy to have that, History of the West. Always an interesting topic. I thoroughly, that's one of those classes in college I thoroughly enjoyed, the history of the West. And our professor really focused on, because he did it from the settling of the West is more what he did. So he looked at topics like the fur trade, the railroads, and the mining industry. And so all of that always, I don't know, for whatever reason, that teacher did a good job of maybe sparking an interest with me. I probably haven't read as much as I should have because of it, being such an interest, but hopefully that'll help that issue out. Okay, so this next book is from Joanna B. Freeman, who is a professor at Yale, professor at Yale University, and I actually watch her classes. They have YouTube videos of those that you can watch for free, and she teaches American history, and I absolutely love listening to her teach. She's a great teacher, and she has written, what was the other book that I bought? I have it up there somewhere, but it's on my TBR, my it's one of the books I want to get to real soon. Probably should have been on my Historathon 2024 list, but it talks about fights in Congress, and this one's affairs of honor, which I mean is the same topic. She really hits on those, and like I said, her teaching's very lively. Thoroughly enjoy it. I have not read her books before though, so hopefully it's as good as when she's teaching. Again, from Yale University Press out of New Haven, and this is a 2001 book. So look forward to that. Yeah, here's your author. There's Joanna Freeman. Let's see, what was the other one that she wrote? I'm going blank on that. Well, it wouldn't be in this because this is an older book. But anyway, looking forward to that, talking about, just all the, you think of the people who are supposed to be honorable people in Congress who are, they address each other as the honorable senator from Iowa, or, and I mean, they're pulling guns and canes and all kinds, caning people. All kinds of good stuff happens in Congress. We think things get nasty in politics today. They've always been nasty. So anyway, moving on. So these next two books anyway, I got these at Dollar Tree. So this is Leadership in War, Essential Lessons from Those Who Made History. It's from Andrew Roberts. And Andrew Roberts is a wonderful author that I just got done reading his book on Napoleon, and absolutely loved it. He's also got a book on, George III that I want to get into. So looking forward to that. Pretty thin volume, shouldn't take very long to get through it. But anyway, my wife is calling. I'll be right back. All right, BookTube, I'm back. My wife is doing some Christmas shopping and doing some returns. We've been doing this, just not to get sidetracked too much, but we've been trying to, in the new house, we've been trying to get curtains bought. And, we had some lighter curtains, because the price of curtains. They're super expensive. And so we had lighter curtains, but we noticed, we have a big house, and and it's an old house, and so the heating bill can be, and so we wanted to get a heavier curtain or drape, whatever you want to call it. And we were trying to find some heavier curtains to help with the heating, with the windows. And the company that we bought these from, these are a little bit heavier. I mean, they're not like super heavy, but heavy enough that they can help with the temperature stuff. But these are white, and we wanted to put white all through the house. We like that crisp white. And she bought from IKEA. I think it was from IKEA. I could be wrong. I think it was IKEA. But anyway, the company, we bought the exact same thing, and I think she may have even ordered them online. It was the exact same thing according to the name, but the curtain that they sent, the new one, they must have changed something, and it's like a cream color. And so it doesn't match anything, and my wife was a little bit upset about it, wanting to, she's wanting to make the house pretty and everything, and I get that. And so she had said, do you mind if I go out and go get those? I don't care. Go ahead. And I asked her, do you mind if I stay home? Because I feel like I'm chasing my tail at work. And I just want to sit and chill and maybe get some videos done. So anyway, my wife was away. That was her calling. I had called her before I started the video. I'd called her to say, hey, how you doing? Where you at? Everything good? And Yeah. Anyway, she was calling me back. So, without further ado, let's get this rolling. And oh, by the way, that stack on the ground that was over there that I was telling you about earlier, pick those up. We're throwing them in this mess. So we really need to get going because this could be a long video if I don't. So anyway, I'm going to go through that stack right now. So this is, this book is, and I'm going to really probably mess up the name here. This is a Russian name. The Olia Aluv, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to say it. It's a memoirs, and it's the intimate recollections of Svetlana Stalin's aunt and grandfather. And, you know, these memoirs of their dealings with Stalin in the time period. And I saw that, and this is like dirt cheap, and I was like, yes, thank you. And I was real excited to, you know, get that. It says on the back here, it says it was published in Moscow in 1946. They were soon suppressed by Stalin and totally withdrawn from circulation. So I'm interested to see what they said about him that that got it taken off the market, so to speak. So I was excited about that. Dirt cheap. This is, and I'd heard about this one. I'd seen this book somewhere. I don't remember where, but it's Laura Hillman's, and it's I Will Plant You a Lilac Tree. It's a memoir of a Schindler's List survivor, so, you know, Holocaust survivor here. And this is from Simon Pulse, which I have never heard of, out of New York, and it is a 2005 book. But I really wanted to pick this one up. I'd heard about it. I've seen it before. But I wanted to pick it up because we got the chance this last summer to go to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. And that trip is a sobering trip. And so, you know, anytime I'm seeing any of these, you know, survivor memoirs or diaries or anything like that, I'm going to pick them up. It's going to be a little bit like with like slave narratives for me, because that's my that's what I enjoy learning about with the Civil War and, you know, all that early American history. So I like that. I enjoy learning about that, and I want to get to be, you know, more of a well-rounded, I'm going to say scholar with air quotes, you know, more rounded learner. And so I think those Holocaust survivors accounts are going to start to come into my collection as well. So anyway, shifting gears here, Jackie Robinson, a biography by Arnold Rampersad. And this is a Ballantine book from 1997. I can always use another baseball biography, and especially about my man Jackie Robinson, stud second baseman for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Awesome stuff. I was very happy to add that one. And I don't think that really needs any explanation. Everybody knows Jackie Robinson, the man who broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. This book is by Jacqueline Woodson. I read this last Christmas break, I think, or maybe last January, somewhere in there. And it's Brown Girl Dreaming. And I did not have it in my own collection. It is more for younger readers. But I think Jacqueline Woodson's writings are absolutely fabulous. I think she does such a wonderful job of speaking to young people about such hard issues. I can't speak enough of Jacqueline Woodson and what she does for young readers. Just the different topics that she tackles. And I've got like a handful of writers that our language arts teachers have a poetry unit, and so they one that does all the sixth grade and then half of the seventh grade, she brings in all of these poetry books, and it's not just like individual poems, it's like a whole novel of individual poems. You know, it tells a whole story. They're all individual, but they tie together to tell the story. But she brought in all these books, and I've been asking these our language arts teachers, let me know titles of books that I need to read so I can keep up with these kids. I want to be, when they're talking about stuff, I want to have that conversation with them. And so I've been doing, that's been kind of a goal of mine to get back to doing that, because I used to do it when I first started teaching middle school. And so these last couple of years, I've really been working on, doing that again. And Jacqueline Woodson, I read a whole bunch of her books last winter, and absolutely loved her stuff. And I even went out of my way to go check some out at the library, and I read just a whole bunch of them. And I will say, like my end of the year, I told you this at the end of last year when I did my end of the year wrap up. My book totals look like they're ginormous compared to what they used to be, and part of the reason is I'm reading these books. So I don't mean to bloat the figures, but I think they're important enough works to put on the list. And this one, let's see. Award-winning author Jacqueline Woodson shares her childhood growing up as an African American in the 1960s and 70s. Touching and powerful, her story is both accessible and emotionally charged. Each line a glimpse into a child's soul as she searches for her place in the world. That's a perfect description of this book. It was really good. National Book Award winner. But it was good enough that I wanted to add it to my own collection. I don't necessarily want to have a whole library of, YA books or middle grade books, but there are some of these authors that they are doing such a fantastic job that I think they need to be in my library. Anyway, it's enough about that. Oh, no, it's not, because this next book goes right along with the same conversation. Jason Reynolds is an African-American author who writes about tough situations for kids, and in particular the African American community of kids. And his books, I read his track series. That's the one I fell in love with and absolutely loved them. And so now in this last year, I've been able to pick up a couple of his other titles that I found, and I have no idea if these are any good. I haven't read any reviews or anything like that, but I am buying this because Jason Reynolds has credit in the Bank of Ruttenberg with his writing. This one is The Boy in the Black Suit. And so if you guys have read these, let me know, and let me know if I'm going to like these. I loved his series, his track series, starting with, Ghost, I think was the first one. This is a 2015 book from Athenaeum. So, yeah, excited to add that one and see if I like that. Pretty sure I probably will. All right, I told you earlier you can never do wrong with a baseball biography. Well, here is another baseball book, Kings of the Hill, an irreverent look at the men on the mound. I was a pitcher myself. I absolutely loved to throw the baseball and control the game. Loved it. And my all-time hero, Nolan Ryan, is right on the front cover. And Steve Carlton's on there. Is that Doc Gooden's on there. Roger Clemens. And oh my goodness, I know. Is that Catfish? I think that's Catfish Hunter. But anyway, I was excited to see this just because, that's a cover buy alone for Nolan Ryan for me. I'm like a big kid here. And just a little story, if you don't know me very well, if you're new to the channel. Oh yeah, Nolan Ryan's the author with Mickey Herkowitz, however you say that. But Nolan Ryan, I named myself after him. I know that doesn't make any sense, but when I was born, I was William Ruttenberg Jr. And when I went into foster care, and then eventually I got adopted, and my adopted family, when they were doing all the paperwork, they gave me the option, do you want to take our last name of Stevenson? And I said, no, I would like to keep Ruttenberg. I want to make something of my last name. And they said, that's all right. You don't have a middle name. Do you want a middle name? And so I dropped the junior from my name because, my paperwork, I have an adopted father now that's not named William, so I dropped the junior, and I didn't have a middle name, so they asked me, what do you want your middle name to be? And so I chose Ryan for my middle name, William Ryan Ruttenberg. And so I named myself after my hero at the time. Baseball meant everything to me, and so he was my hero. Named myself after him. And now my youngest daughter has that same middle name. We passed that on to her. My wife's middle name went to my oldest daughter, and my middle name went to my youngest daughter. So anyway, here we go. Another baseball book by Mike Lupica. Awesome author. He's a great sports journalist and writes kids' books now. He's got some adult books too, but his kids' books are awesome. I've read a handful of them. This one is The Bat Boy, and it is, I guess I didn't tell you a year on that other book. I'll get it here. It's from Philomel Books, an imprint of Penguin, and it is a 2010 book, so I look forward to reading that one. That might go on my opening day project, or I might do it before then. I don't know. That King of the Hill book, Kings of the Hill, is from HarperCollins, and it is a 1992 book. So this would have been right at the end of Nolan Ryan's career. He was about ready to retire. I think 1993 was his last year, I believe. And I actually got to, with Nolan Ryan, not to get sidetracked again, but I actually, for my birthday, got to go. My dad took me to the last game that, so we lived down in Missouri, first of all, preface that. And so the Kansas City Royals were our home team. They were, an hour and a half away, something like that. And so he took me to Nolan Ryan when he was pitching for the Texas Rangers, the very last game that he pitched at Kauffman Stadium, it was Kauffman Stadium back then. Well, no, it would have been Royal Stadium back then. They had not renamed it, I don't believe. I don't think they had renamed it to Kauffman Stadium and then Kauffman Yard now. I got to go watch his last game. That was really cool. So, next book I have read. Didn't I read this one? I'm pretty sure I read this one already. Brett Baer's book with Catherine Whitney, To Rescue the Republic, Ulysses S. Grant, The Fragile Union in the Crisis of 1876. Yes, I did read this, and I think I may have reviewed this one on the channel, I believe. But anyway, I have Peg had sent me the ARC, the advanced reader copy of this, but I didn't have like a finished copy, and I'm cheap, and I didn't want to spend full price on it. But I found this and was real excited when I found it, because this one, it's from Thrift World, so this would have been just a couple of bucks. And it is literally in brand new condition. The pages are starting to yellow just a little bit. The inside is not, but the outside is yellowing a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it's in perfect condition. It looks like it came right off the Walmart shelf or the Target shelf. All right, another one I found there at Thrift World. I had a whole bunch of them I found. Abuse of Power by Stanley Cutler. It is, what does it say? The new Nixon tapes. So this is dealing with, Watergate stuff. And, that's always an interesting topic. And let's see. The Free Press, a division of Simon & Schuster from 1997. So that will be very, very interesting to look at. Can't wait to dive in. Probably something I need a lot of time for, because I imagine that doesn't read very fast. All right, so let's get into the other part of the stack here. I'm going to keep moving at a little bit faster clip here. So this was one from Dollar Tree, the Shotguns and Stagecoaches, The Brave Men Who Rode for the Wells Fargo in the Wild West by John Bessenecker. Just sounded like it was interesting. Here's your author there on the back cover. He's written a handful of books. You look there. He's got some titles to his name. I have never read him before myself. This is a Thomas Dunn Books out of New York, and it is 2018, so fairly new. First time in paperback 2020. So fairly new book. Look forward to that. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Here's a book from one of my favorite authors of Civil War and Reconstruction, Eric Foner. Absolutely love his work. And this is Give Me Liberty, An American History. So it's a textbook. Only a nerdy teacher like me could find this awesome. But it's volume 1 in the Give Me Liberty textbook, and I'm ready to dive into this right now. I'm gonna fall in love with this. Absolutely love textbooks of this size. You can lay them flat and they don't bust, and absolutely love it. I got it for dirt cheap. I think I got it for $1, and it says only at $42 net. Yeah, I'm not paying $42 for something. Like I said, I'm too cheap. But anyway, American history text, absolutely love it. Here we go. The Warmth of Other Suns, the epic story of America's Great Migration. And this is by Isabel Wilkerson. And I have something else by Isabel Wilkerson. What is it? Let's find out. Let's see if there's a list of books by Isabel Wilkerson. That name sounds extremely familiar. Unfortunately, there's not a list of other books that was written by Isabel Wilkerson. So never mind on that. It's a 2010 book. But story of America's Great Migration there. So we're talking African-American migration to the north, right? I believe. Yep. African-American migration to the north. And so, I'm looking forward to that. The only problem is, the only reason this would be a problem is I think I want to say I might have another copy of this. I might have already bought this. I think I bought this as a just in case I didn't have it. But I think I did buy this somewhere, somehow, some way. And I'm looking around. I'm not seeing it right off the get-go, but I think I may have this. But this copy is a very good copy. So the other, if I do have two, the other copy is probably the one I'm going to get rid of. But looking forward to that. Ooh, stack's getting high. All right, here we go. Patriotic Fire, Andrew Jackson and Jean Lafitte at the Battle of New Orleans by Winston Groom. That will be a good one. Winston Groom is awesome. I read his history book on Vicksburg. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was great. He's also the writer of Forrest Gump. So the movie was based on his book about Forrest Gump. And one of these days I'm going to find Forrest Gump and I'm going to read that. But I think he also has a book on the Battle of Shiloh. Don't quote me on that, but I think he does. So when I saw this, I was real excited. I like Winston Groom. He's got some credit in the bank. This is from Vintage Books out of New York, and it is a 2006 book. But yeah, the subtitle tells it all, the relationship between the two guys, Andrew Jackson and Jean Lafitte, in the Battle of New Orleans. So there we go on that one. Let me just pick all these up here. Okay, so all right, here we go. The next one, I blame Peg at the History Shelf for this. Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carried. Found a very nice paperback of this. She spoke extremely highly of this book over and over and over again in multiple videos. And so when I saw this, and it's in really good shape, and it's in one of these nice, I love the size of this paperback. When I saw this, I was like, yep, thank you, $1. I will buy that for $1. And this morning, my daughter and I went to our local bookstore in our downtown area, and the gal had put Tim O'Brien's book on the shelves. She put up some new shelves actually and brought in some more nonfiction, and she had this book on the shelf. I was like, hey, I recognize that. Yeah. So looking forward to that. It is, I guess I didn't tell you, it's from, one moment please. It's got a bunch of blurbs. Is Donahue in here? Let's see. Let's see. We got a second, don't we? Let's see. Is Steve Donahue blurbed in this? Or is Peg blurbed in this? I'm not seeing it. Looks like all newspapers. Okay, never mind. Let's move forward. Mariner Books, out of Boston. It's a 1990 book. So really looking forward to reading that. Yeah, it's supposed to be really, really good. And is this Vietnam? Is that right? I hesitate to say that and then be wrong. I think it was Vietnam. I bought this solely on the recommendation of Peg, and I can't even remember what war it deals with. Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh no, I didn't pay much attention. It's all marked up in pen. What the heck you doing there? You see that? What the heck? Hopefully the whole thing. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's at least the first half. Looks like the student only read half of it. Well, anyway, oh well, that's okay. It was cheap. So, the next 4 are by the same author. These are a mystery series. I like mystery series. I've told you that. But this is, and I can't remember what order they go in, but I bought all 4 of them because they go together. It's very obvious. It's the Charlotte Gibson Mysteries by Jasmine Webb. And they have really cool covers. This one is Aloha Alibi. And again, I'd have to check and see the order because I'll try to read them in order. This is from, okay, so this is the first one right here. This is book 1. And it is, oh geez, doesn't even say. The printer and year and stuff. Made in the USA, Orlando, 2022. There you go. About the author. So there's number 1 in the series. And the next one, number 2, is Maui Murder. Aren't those covers cool? I'm hoping that they're decent books. Like I said, this was totally out in left field when I bought these. The next one is, number 3 is Beachside Bullet. Again, still playing on that beachy theme. And number 3 in the series is, number 4 in the series is Pina Colada Poison. Look at that one. Yeah, and the covers are wraparound covers. So there's stuff on the back too. Super cool stuff. So hopefully those are good. That was a cover buy. It was just kind of caught my eye, and I had all 4 of them sitting there. So why not? Again, those were a quarter a piece. Those were from the community center. So this next one is called American Nations: A History of the 11 Rival Regional Cultures of North America. And it's by Colin Woodard. Looked interesting. The reason, argues historians and award-winning journalist Colin Woodard, is that North America is actually made up of 11 nations, each with its own unique history, roots dating back centuries from the deep south to the far west. So yeah, it's just looking at regional stuff, and it looked interesting. Again, dirt cheap. Why not? I think it was $1. Penguin Books, and it's from the year 2011. So that was, just going to give it a try. The next one is a really thin volume, and it is Jonathan Riley Smith, What Were the Crusades? And I want to say somebody had a whole bunch of these series on their channel. And I don't know if it was Justin from his channel. Oh my goodness, what is his channel name? Triumphant Read, or is it Triumphant Reads? I think. Sorry, Justin. My bad. But anyway, was it you that had all of these? This is from Ignatius Press out of San Francisco. And this is a 2002 volume. But I wanted to say he had a whole bunch of these type of books. He's real thin, and they had different topics. And I saw that, and that was what I thought of when I bought it. So I was trusting that that was the ones Justin was showing on his channel. I could be wrong. All right, so moving on here. This one was absolutely awesome, and it's very timely right now with me in class, in my American history class, or excuse me, not American history, my European, my world geography class, and we are focusing on Europe, and we're looking at history of Europe, and so we're in World War I. We actually just sank the Lusitania on Friday, so this is perfect. This is Dead Wake, The Last Crossing of the Lusitania by Eric Larson, and I've read this one before. This is excellent. Eric Larson's just a good writer, but I read this one, thoroughly enjoyed it, and when I saw it and it's in perfect condition, I was like, yes, thank you. I will take that for $1. And yeah, like I said, very timely because we just got done sinking the Lusitania on Friday in class. Moving forward, The Heart of Everything That Is, The Untold Story of Red Cloud, An American Legend by Bob Drury and Tom Clavin. And this one, I am basing this by, first of all, Tom Clavin's a good author. I enjoy his writing. He writes for the masses, and I enjoy it. But I have a student in my class. His name is Brody Bollinger. Yeah, I almost forgot his name. That's terrible. Really good kid. And Brody was reading all of these Tom Clavin books in my class for the last couple of years. He's been going through different Tom Clavin books. And this was, I want to say this is one that he had read. And that was the reason I bought it. I was like, yeah, I remember him reading that. Of course, watch me go to school and ask him, and he didn't read it. It wasn't this book. But anyway, he's the reason I bought this. And again, it was just $1. And this is from Simon & Schuster. And it's a 2013 book. In really good shape. Glad I bought it. All right, 2 books left. We are almost done, folks. I know it's been a long video. Let's see. This is All of the Lionheart. Lost Love, Imperial Spies, and One Woman's Journey into the Heart of Africa by Brad Rika. Found this one at Dollar Tree. It was an interesting cover, I thought, and just talking about living in Africa and a woman's... let's see. In 1910, a strong-willed, free-spirited aristocrat named Olive MacLeod was engaged to be married to Boyd Alexander, one of the most famous naturalists of his time. When Boyd's work led him all the way to Africa and he goes missing, Olive decides to take matters into her own hands and travel to find him. She must unravel the truth about what really happened to Boyd, even if that means confronting a shocking secret about herself. And then it has a little bit more. Sounded interesting, so I thought I'd give it a try. Again, only $1.25, so I'm good with that. It's from St. Martin's Press. And let's see. And 2020 is your date. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looked very interesting. And now we are to the last book. It's been a lot of books. I do realize that. Thank you for staying with me if you watched the entire video. This one is from Stanley Weintraub, I believe is how you say his name. It's 11 Days in December, Christmas at the Bulge, 1944. This book I am going to read in December. I'm going to save it for December. But I read his book on George Washington. Let me see if I can find the name of the book. See if he has it in here in a list. And of course he doesn't. But it was one on Washington going home for Christmas. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was, here we go. General Washington's Christmas Farewell, a Mount Vernon Homecoming. I read that and really enjoyed that. And so when I saw this, I thought, yes, I can do that. I can read that. He's got some credit in the bank. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Again, I'm going to read that over the Christmas holiday or sometime in December anyway. So maybe I should have had that on my nonfiction November list. So, oh well, I'm finding all kinds of books that probably should have been on that list. So, anyway, BookTube, thank you for watching. I know it's been a long, long video. Kudos to you if you made it all the way through. And I'm just thankful I didn't try to read every cover because we would have just be getting started if that was the case. So anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate the time that you've put in to watch this. I hope you have some great stuff that you're reading. If you've read any of these books and you think that I need to read them like first right off the get-go, please let me know if there's any that you thought were really, really good. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking now because I need to go downstairs and visit with my daughter. I've been up here for a little bit. So, BookTube, thank you for watching. Until next time, happy reading.